I'm gonna try really hard not to say as much as possible during this. So, here goes. Oh man, it's hard. All right, here we go. All right, so the difference between culture and race. So obviously these are not the same thing. Dang it. So I've been accused of being racist. Dang it. A few times as a result of critiquing other people's cultures. Cultures and races are definitely separate things. We seem to forget this in modern times. It's... Oh gosh, this is really hard. All right. So so races are obviously, going to be genetically determined things. Cultures are determined by where you are born, not by anything that is ingrained within you. I think that in modern times we tend to forget this fairly often. Just because it just seems to be such an important part of ourselves. We all want to imagine that if we had been born in another place, we wouldn't have a different set of values. Like we wouldn't be, more prone to being racist or having tendencies of sexism or whatever. But that's just not the case, unfortunately, for the vast majority of us. We just need to accept that where you're born is going to determine a lot of what you view as right and wrong. Your morals are very dependent on your upbringing. And that's okay to some extent, but because of that, we need to be able to critique one another's cultures without pulling the race card every single time you say something that somebody else doesn't like. So I think just to run over a few examples of this, nobody would call you a racist person for saying a variety of things are not socially acceptable, not good, not going to improve the quality of life for the vast majority of people around the world. Things like practicing human sacrifice, subjugating women, binding the feet of women, removing, having eunuchs, removing the genitalia of young boys. There are a lot of things that we as humans have done throughout history that are not good practices. And if a culture lives in isolation without criticism, then it's not going to improve. So it is important for us to be able to separate these two things out so that we can try and improve the quality of life for the vast majority of people here. Cultural diversity, I do think, is a very good thing to have, purely because, well, not purely because, but a good portion of my belief that is a good thing is that you need a diversity of opinions and behaviors in order for there to be, outsiders looking in on certain behaviors and being able to critique them without having cultural prejudice. So, just as it is very important for other cultures and peoples to look at the United States and say, hey, this is maybe a practice that you'll want to rethink. You're oppressing a certain group of people, you're making a certain group of people's lives more difficult. Maybe you should change that. It's important for us to be able to also do the same in regard to other peoples and cultures and other places.